So if you need to break down your custom Micron Iwata Takumi, so the first thing I'll do is remove this fluid control knob off the back. So all you have to do is unscrew that from the handle. Now you can remove the handle itself. This will expose that needle chuck tightening screw. I'll just loosen that a little bit and then I can take the needle out. Now I'll further remove that screw. Now the next thing I'll do is loosen this part here, which is called the needle tension screw. Now this determines how much pressure is on that trigger. Depending where you set it, it can be loose or tight. Keep in mind that spring inside there, so I like to tilt it a little bit in case it wants to jump out on you. And the needle spring. Now I have to remove the waist plate because the needle chuck itself won't come out on its own. The lever is preventing that. So just unscrew that from the body, and now you can remove the needle chuck followed by that trigger. Now there is no lever on Takumi triggers, so you have to give it a little turn and twist to remove that from the body. Now I have access to that packing screw, and I'll use the Iwata screwdriver here. This is the 1.2 version. There's 2 in that maintenance kit, the other is the 1.4. So just get that in there, grab a hold of that packing screw, turn it counterclockwise until it falls out of the body. Now there's a little brass nut on the bottom with 2 openings, and that's where you would use another Iwata tool from the maintenance kit that has 2 different sizes on it. So just find the right one that grabs that brass nut and give it a turn. Keep some tension on there because that spring also wants to jump out on you. Anything that has a spring on it will try to do that. Grab that spring and the plunger. Now I can remove the casing from the body if needed. Take note there is an O-ring on the bottom of here. And also I'd like to mention inside the body here is a little piston as well. If you lose that or that falls out, that's how you won't have any engagement on your air valve. Sometimes that happens and no one notices it. But if you do need to get that out, just give it a little press with your screwdriver tool and it'll fall out. Take note, it did fall on my little microfiber cloth that comes with every custom Micron. This side feels more like a polishing pad, and this is the microfiber side. So now that plunger is out of the body there. This is just a little screw here on the side. I wouldn't say screw, it just mounts right in, it slides in, there's no thread on there, but you can put it on either side of the brush, depending which side you prefer your cup to be on. So if you need to remove that, now I'll move on to the front end, removing that crown cover, and now the air cap itself, which will expose the nozzle. Now my third and final tool I'll use today is this Iwata nozzle wrench. Grabbing a hold of it, it'll release that without over or under torquing it. Using a tool like this is way less likely chance of damaging that nozzle. They're very easy to break. I'll just leave that on the end of my screwdriver here. And now I can remove the head unit. One more seal inside the Takumi is that little O-ring in the body there. So for putting it back together, I'll start with the part you might forget about, and that would be that little plunger again that goes back in that part of the body on the air valve assembly. I just kind of try to grab it and drop it in there a little bit, and I'll use my screwdriver to kind of guide it in place and then push down and it'll pop back in there. Sometimes it takes a few tries, but you'll get it. Now I'll take my packing screw, put it back on my screwdriver, insert that back into the body. Counterclockwise, you'll feel that click and then tighten it up. Now is when you want to grab your needle and see how tight that packing screw is. You don't want to over tighten it or under tighten it. You want just enough where there's tension on that needle and not enough for it to fall out. So that felt pretty good, so I'll go ahead and move on. Guess I'll put the front end back together by grabbing that head unit, screwing that back onto the body. I still have my nozzle on the end of the tool here, so I'll carefully line that up till I feel it kind of catch counterclockwise and tighten it up. Now you just need to go hand tight. As soon as you feel it grab, that's it. You don't want to overdo it or keep pushing on it. Now I'll grab my air cap, screw that over the nozzle, and now I can install the protective crown cover. I'll put this little cup knob back in there, and I'll move on to the air valve, reassembling this piece. So grab the plunger and take the short side with the O-ring and put that in first. That goes towards the top. Just press that in till it comes out the top of that hole. Now you can take that air valve spring and put it back over top that plunger. Grab your Iwata air valve tool, line that up on top of the plunger. It'll grab a little bit counterclockwise and tighten it all up. Give it a little push on top, make sure that feels good, and now you can put it back on the body. Now I will put my trigger back in. Like I mentioned before, you have to kind of go in sideways and then turn and line it up right on top of your air valve. Now I can put the needle chuck back in it, putting that screw over that needle chuck, and putting your waist plate in with the smooth side facing to the front. Lock that down to the body. Now I can grab my tension spring screw. Slide that over your spring and needle chuck and set it to your desired setting. Now I will put my needle screw back on. Not completely. This just helps me guide my needle back in with less likelihood of damaging it. Push that forward till you feel it stop on that nozzle and tighten it up and make sure it's moving freely. Now I can move on to that back handle and my fluid control knob. And now you're all set and ready to begin painting again. Thanks for watching, everyone. And if you have any questions or need any assistance, please reach out to spraygunner.com. I also would like to mention on this cup here, besides the lid, there is a separate piece on the bottom here that you can remove. And also be very careful with this. This piece is very fragile where it connects to the bottom of this cup. Give it a twist when you take it in and out. Don't try to go up and down with it or side to side. That's usually when this thing can break off pretty easily. So keep that in mind during disassembly and you'll be all set. Thanks for watching.